I'm with Tim Saunders, who's the press secretary for the Fireball Class Association. Tim, one thing we're noticing is that the Fireball's been around since the early 60s, but it still manages to be a fairly modern kind of class. How's that happened?
I guess over the years it's always tried to keep pace with the latest innovations, but without doing it too radically and too quickly. So it always tries to keep everything kind of cost effective, but performance is a key thing as well. So
right, so it doesn't turn into an arms race.
No, that's the idea. It's long lived. You know, the idea is to keep the boats lasting a long time. So the hulls, you know, they're foam sandwich now. They've got Kevlar in them, which means they last a long time competitively. You know, it's quite common to see boats that are, 20 years old right at the top of the fleet. Sure. There's one here this week that's in the top 10, no problem at all. So, yeah, we've introduced new sailcloths in the last sort of 6 or 7 years after a period of testing. And we're always looking at new things. You know, still we haven't got carbon at the moment, but other classes have. But it's still an expensive item. So. Sure. And the other thing is that it's still fairly good competition. You know, there's 63 boats, which is a little bit down from last year, but other championships you've had 80, you've had over 100, and you're expecting to get more than 100 for the Europeans and Worlds this year. So tell us a little bit about that. How does that work? Yeah, it seems to be. I mean, in Britain, it's always been a very strong class, over the years, and that's still the case. You know, it's still getting good numbers nationally. Certainly, some of the other countries have really grown in Europe over the last decade or so. The French are reasonably strong, which is where this year's nationals is, Europeans is in the world, sorry. And the Czech Republic, they've really sort of grown as a class over there.
The Czech Republic?
Yeah, there's lots of them on there. They like it on the old lakes there, in Lipno and places like that. And they've had a European champion from there and stuff, so they've got a good standard as well. And Italy, so there's countries like Slovenia as well, sort of not so a place you might expect, but there's quite a lot of them there.
It's really impressive, actually. It seems that the people who don't want to have to compete with the full-time professional sailors, they want to enjoy themselves and they want to get good competition, but they don't want to have to spend 3 days in the gym, 3 days on the water to win a championship. Yeah,
I think that's the case. If you look around the class, there's a lot of people they've had a go at maybe the top level sailing at 5 years, 10 years, even more ago, and they've come back to just doing their sort of standard domestic sailing, as you want to call it. And they're really enjoying it. But the top 10, if you look down the top 10, you look at what have they won? Oh, they've won that, they've won this. Yeah. And it's a good standard of sailor, and there's a lot of championships wins under people's belts there. So.
And some good socials as well at the open meetings.
Yeah, there's often a few beers or a curry. That's quite a Fireball favourite. Finding a curry house.
Well, thanks very much indeed, and best of luck at the Europeans and Worlds.
Okay. Thank you.